Alright, you guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're here to talk about the face of the franchise. One of them has been announced already. Ronald Acuna Jr., 90 overall. I honestly don't know what to think about that. He's going to have a live series card right about that same rating, so it's kind of interesting, to say the least. Definitely something I did not expect. Also, it kind of scares me a little bit that they're already at a 90 on Team Affinity 1. Years past, it's been pretty much 87s. I think at one point it was an 85. They keep going up each year, so I think that means we're going to get a hell of a lot of 99s just like the last couple of years. I feel like they keep moving up on that time frame, but we'll see. But anyways, we're going to go over each team. I'm going to give you two options for each team. I've also included on here the 42 series card from last year. Now, there's only two stipulations that I tried to go with in this, with like two exceptions. So one of them, I didn't include any of the free agents that have been signed. Pretty much the majority of the free agency class, aside from one team, I did add a couple free agents on that one, signed pretty much after this game would have shipped. So it would have been very hard to put those into the game on a disc copy. I mean, realistically, this stuff's been coded about a month ago and shipped out already, so at that time, most of these free agents weren't signed. There will be that roster update, but I don't think they're going to change anything in the Team Affinity line. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Second, I didn't use any of the teams, or any of the players that were a 42 series card from last year. So, with that being said, AL East. I think it's going to be Cedric Mullins or Ryan Mountcastle. You think of face of the franchise, to me, I think of Ryan Mountcastle. However, Cedric Mullins, they seem to have a love affair with him. He had about 4 or 5 cards last year, so I think it's going to be Cedric Mullins. Boston Red Sox, I'm going to go with Devers there. Bogarts had the one last year, else I would have picked him, but I'll go with Devers there. Aaron Judge, I think, should be the Yankees. When I think of the Yankees, Aaron Judge is the one I think of. That card might be better than his live series card. However, he could also be a diamond in the cover athlete choice pack. So, if he is, I'm going to say DJ LeMahieu. I think like a low 90, or a 90 card would actually be pretty decent for him. They've got some other guys like Anthony Rizzo and Aroldis Chapman, Garrett Cole, some of those guys. It's possible we see a Garrett Cole. I'd be okay with that over a DJ LeMahieu, but we'll see. I don't think it's Giancarlo. He was that last year. Then you get to Tampa Bay. I'd be happy with a couple different guys here, but I think it's going to be Wander Franco. I mean, you think about the baseball, like it's either a Franco or a Rosarena. Those are our two big names. I would not be disappointed at all with a Mike Zunino, please. But I think it's going to be either Wander or Rosarena. Willie Adames, we don't got to really worry about it. He's not with the team no more. Toronto Blue Jays, either Vladdy or Teoscar Hernandez. They've got so many options. I don't think it'll be Bo Bichette. We had him last year. I don't think they'd go back-to-back. But they're already doing some things that I don't quite understand, so it's very possible it could be Bo Bichette. All right, AL Central. I'm going to say Luis Robert. I think they load us up on center fielders. They always seem to. Center fielders and first basemen seem to have a plethora at the beginning of the year. However, as much as I like Luis Robert, and I would like a speed bat with some good fielding and good everything, you know, Yasmani Grandal. Give me a catcher who's a switch hitter right off the bat. I'd be very happy with that card. However, I do want Joe Mauer, so that would also kind of put me in a predicament. But I think either Luis Robert or Yasmani. I would have been happy with Tim Anderson. He had it last year, though, so don't think he gets it again. Cleveland Guardians. Either Jose Ramirez or Shane Bieber. I prefer Shane Bieber here because I want them to have pitching in this. I always want some pitching. They usually have about 3 or 4. There's some teams out there who, quite frankly, have some very weak lineups. Jose Ramirez would get a lot of people excited. I don't know. We'll see. He is the face of that franchise, I would say. When I think of the Guardians at this point, Lindor, he's gone. Ramirez is the guy. Detroit Tigers. Good God. I had trouble with this one. But I'm going to go Akil Baddoo. I was thinking about Javi Baez. He had signed before the lockout, so they could have easily programmed Javi Baez into it. But he hasn't played a single game with him, not including spring training. He hasn't played a single game, so I'm not going with him just yet. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Casey Mize. I could see a pitcher there very easily. Kansas City Royals. Salvador Perez would be the obvious choice here, but they used him last year. He had like 5 cards last year. I don't think they start him with a card already. I think it's going to be Whit Merrifield, which I'd be very happy with. I love Whit Merrifield. I hope that he gets this card. He had one 2 years ago, 3 years ago when they did the face of the franchise. That'd be kind of a nice little flashback. But I think he'd be the better option here. Andrew Benintendi, though, he'd be an interesting one. Just because I've not really ever had a diamond Andrew Benintendi. I wouldn't mind that. He had a good swing from what I remember. I know he had a diamond at one point, like his prospect card, but that was before I started playing the show. Well, not the show, but Diamond Dynasty. So, Minnesota Twins, I'm going to say Byron Buxton. Again, I think they load us up on center fielders. I think they're all going to have speed, defense, and some pretty decent hitting attributes. So, I'm going to go Byron Buxton there. AL West, it's going to be Kyle Tucker. I have no real doubt in my mind that it's Kyle Tucker, but I would be happy with a Lance McCullers Jr. Give me a good card with him right off the bat. Now, the Angels, Trout and Ohtani, come on. I mean, those are the 2 faces of the franchise. Let's be fucking real here. But I think Jared Walsh gets it. Either him or Anthony Rendon. But Rendon sucked last year, so I don't think they give it to him. If Trout or Ohtani doesn't get it, which, I mean, it's possible that they don't. I feel like they should. Jared Walsh is probably next up on that list. Oakland Athletics. This was a difficult one. They don't have much. And let's face it, they could probably trade both of these guys by the time this game comes out. Frankie Montas, I think, gets it, though. Ramon Laureano's coming off that suspension. I don't think they want to go with Ramon. I don't think they've got a whole lot of options out there. Give me an AJ Puck. I'll take it. Seattle Mariners, I think of Mitch Haniger. He is still the guy that I think of. Jared Kelenic could be another one. They've actually got a pretty nice little lineup out there now, though, getting Adam Frazier and all these other guys, but I like the Mariners this year. But I'm going to go Mitch Haniger. Texas Rangers. Now, this is kind of where I added some free agents. Marcus Semien and Corey Seager, they both signed before the lockout, so it's very possible that they could get a card here. They haven't played a single game with him, though, just like Javi Baez, so I don't really want to put them there. However, the rest of their lineup is not that great. Adolis Garcia, sure, it doesn't really excite me much, but him or Nate Lowe, I try to stay away from finest guys that we got this year, but, you know, I mean, those are two faces of the franchise there, aside from those 2. So, I don't know. We'll see with the Rangers. That one's a kind of a toss-up. Braves, Acuna Jr., that one's been announced. We know that one. Doesn't make sense, but it's been announced. Miami Marlins, Sandy Alcantara. That's who I think they go with. Last year they had Sixto Sanchez. I wouldn't be surprised if Jazz Chisholm gets it. I'd be very happy if Jazz Chisholm gets it. However, I've always sucked with them. But I would be happy with that. I think second base is a position that they need to have as much depth as they possibly can, especially early in the game, because there's just not many good second basemen. That being said, one of my favorite second basemen will be upcoming in the next slide. But Pete Alonso, first base for the Mets, hopefully. Please give me Pete Alonso. Man, you give me Pete Alonso and Mike Zunino right off the bat as 90s, I will be fucking ecstatic. Francisco Lindor, I kind of put him there because, I mean, honestly, with that contract, he should be pretty much a face of the franchise. And a switch hitting shortstop that's a 90 overall right off the bat would be fantastic. Phillies, Zach Wheeler. You could easily say Bryce Harper here. He could be in the cover pack. Zach Wheeler, Rhys Hoskins. I think Rhys Hoskins deserves it a little bit more since he's been there longer, but Zach Wheeler was pretty damn dominant last year, and we need pitching. Juan Soto. Now, the only reason I'm saying Juan Soto is because they announced Acuna. I mean, who are you going to have to go up against Acuna in this division? Fucking Juan Soto. If not, Strasburg? Maybe? They don't have that strong of a lineup in Washington. They really don't. I'm going to go Juan Soto. I think that's the no-brainer option if you're going with Acuna Jr. Now, could they also be going with Acuna just because he was injured? He's going to miss half the season. Possibility. Do they drop his live series for that? It's interesting to think of. Chicago Cubs, Ian Happ. Cubs, I have no fucking idea with the Cubs. I'll be straight honest with you. That lineup does not... that team doesn't thrill me much at all. Ian Happ or Wilson Contreras? Wilson Contreras is kind of slept on. I think he's a very, very underrated player. I'd be pretty happy with a Wilson Contreras card. Or Ian Happ, switching outfielder right off the bat, kind of like an Anthony Santander last year. A little bit more power. I'll take that. Cincinnati Reds. Here's my boy, Jonathan India. Give me my Jonathan India. Give me Jonathan India right off the jump. I will go out and get him. He will be my number 1 card, just like his gold was last year. I'm one of only 8 people to parallel 5 that card. Good stuff. Mike Moustakas could be another one. The Reds, they just traded a bunch of people, so who the hell knows? The Brewers, Christian Yelich. He's going to start as like a silver this year with the last 2 years he's had, I'd imagine. Give him a 90 card. He's still a face of that franchise, him or Josh Hader. Those are the 2 guys you think of. I guess you could go Corbin Burns or Brandon Woodruff here as well. Maybe I should have gone with one of them, but I'm going to still say Yelich. That'd be a nice card right out the get-go. Give him good power, give him good contact. Everybody loves his swing. I'd go after that card. For the Pirates, Brian Reynolds is the only choice here. Let's be realistic. Give me my Brian Reynolds card before they trade him. Just give me my card. Ke'Bryan Hayes, I included him. He was on last year's. We have no other options. We fucking suck. Will Bednard, maybe, as a closer. That'd be interesting. I'd be okay with that. Give me my Brian Reynolds. Cardinals. They got quite a few options. Arenado could have been on this list. Harrison Bader, that'd be a fun one. It's my Gator build, I would love that. But I think Tyler O'Neill or Paul Goldschmidt gets this one. Maybe Adam Wainwright, that wouldn't be bad. But I think one of these 2 gets it. Everybody seems to be, I won't say fantasizing over Tyler O'Neill, because that sounds a little erotic. But everybody seems to be falling in love with Tyler O'Neill. So I'm going to go with him. NL West. Diamondbacks have no one. It's Ketel Marte. I'd be happy with the David Peralta. I've always loved Peralta. I love his swing. I wanted a diamond so bad of him last year, and they didn't give us one, so I was a little bit disappointed on that. I think it's still Ketel Marte, though. There's no real other option there. They suck. Charlie Blackmon, going with the Rockies. Just because everybody loves his swing. That'd be a solid card to start off with. I mean, God, I'm kind of realizing it as I'm going through, but like 3 or 4 of these have been face of the franchises 2 years ago. That'd be pretty interesting. CJ Cron is the other one. He had a pretty good year llast year. I don't really think he's a face of the franchise just yet after 1 season, but you know, who the hell knows? I think it's Charlie Blackmon. Maybe they throw Chris Bryant in there just for the hell of it if they want to update everything. Dodgers, Will Smith. I'm going to go with him because I don't think he starts out diamond. I think he starts out as like an 83, 84 gold. I'd be happy with the Will Smith diamond catcher. I also have Chris Taylor on here because, again, second base. We could use some more diamonds. And they're already going to have 8 or 9 diamonds on that damn team. So Chris Taylor and Will Smith, 2 guys that probably aren't starting as diamonds. San Diego Padres. I don't have Tatis on there. Tatis could be a cover player athlete. I got Machado, and I got Jake Cronenworth. I'd prefer the Jake Cronenworth over Machado. Never really cared for Machado's swing in this game, and I like Cronenworth. We'll see on that one. Giants, Brandon Crawford or Logan Webb. Brandon Crawford probably be the funner of the 2 cards, but I kind of hope for Logan Webb just because I want more pitching. That's all there is to it. Let me know what you think down below. Out of all these guys, who would you go for first in each division? Write that in the comments section. Let's get some sparks going here. Thank you guys for stopping by. I'll see you next time